Welcome to part 86 of Ready or Not, Here I Come, December the 28th, 2024 by man's calendar. And this is part 86, but the seventh part I've done today. So this will likely be the last part I get to do right now because I have to do some other things for the Lord. I need to go pray and things, and I need to do some. I need to rest some as well because it is a day of rest, but I also need to do some things for the Lord and some festive things for Hanukkah, such as eat fried foods. So, anyways, I want to jump on back into Luke 18, verse uh, verse 35. I'm going to recap from there and go on. And it came to pass that he was come near to Jericho, and a certain blind man sat by the wayside begging. And hearing the multitude pass by, he asked what it meant. And they told him that Jesus of Nazareth passes by. And he cried, saying, Jesus, you son of David, have mercy on me. And they which went before rebuked him. He should hold his peace, that he should hold his peace. But he cried so much the more, you son of David, have mercy on me. And Jesus stood and condemned and commanded him to be brought to him. Jesus stood and commanded him to be brought to him. And when he was come near, he asked him, saying, what will you that I should do to you? And he said, Lord, that I may receive my sight. And Jesus said to him, receive your sight. Your faith has saved you. And immediately he received his sight and followed him, glorifying God. And all the people, when they saw it, gave praise to God. Do you go about doing these things? No, you say they have to be sent to the doctors to receive the healings. You say they have to be sent to the eye doctor. Well, you ain't doing what your father did and greater still. You're sending them to the witches, where they surely cannot be healed. Because that is not the Lord's way. That is not the Lord's way. Let's get on into chapter 19. And Jesus entered and passed through Jericho. And behold, there was a man named Zacchaeus. Oh, I love this story. It's not a story. It's a truth. But I love this particular truth. Because Zacchaeus was a little short, fat man who just wanted to see Jesus. And I'm a little short, fat woman, so it kind of works out for me. It's good. It gave me hope all my life. Zacchaeus, which was the chief among the publicans, tax collector, and he was rich. That's something Zacchaeus and I did not have in common. He was rich, I am poor. But what I have, I will still share. And he sought to see Jesus, who he sought to see Jesus, who he was. And he could not for the press, that means for the crowd, because he was little of stature. He was short. And he ran before and climbed up into a sycamore tree to see him, for he was to pass by that way. And when Jesus came to the place, he looked up and saw him and said to him, Zacchaeus, make haste and come down, for today I must abide at your house. The man wanted to see him so bad that he climbed up a tree. And Jesus knew he was there when he come to the spot and just looks up and says, Zacchaeus, I tell you all stuff because the Lord tells me to tell you stuff and you act like I shouldn't know it. And then you try to discredit me and try to make me feel like I don't know what I know. I do know what I know. And it is not me you're discrediting, it is God. He's the one who tells me what I know. So it's him you call a liar, not me. And he made haste to come down and received him joyfully. And when they saw it, they all murmured, saying that he was gone to be guest with the man that is a sinner. Mm. And Zacchaeus stood and said to the Lord, Behold, Lord, the half of my goods I give to the poor. And if I have taken anything from any man by false accusation, I restore him fourfold. And Jesus said to him, This day is salvation come to this house, for so much as he also is a son of Abraham. For the Son of Man is come to seek and to save that which was lost. And as they heard these things, he added and spoke a parable, because he was near to Jerusalem, and because they thought that the kingdom of God should immediately appear. He said, A certain nobleman went into a far country to receive for himself a kingdom and to return. And he called his 10 servants and delivered them 10 pounds and said to them, Occupy till I come. The Lord gave his servants 10 pounds to occupy his kingdom till he come. This Lord in this parable. Bet y'all never got this one before. You're about to. In a different way than you ever have before, I'm certain of it. Jesus came to this world as Lord, and he said to his servants, Occupy till I come. Because Jesus is coming. But how many of you have smelt his servants who came to you? Anyways, going on. But his citizens hated him and sent message after him, saying, "We will not have this man to reign over us." And it came to pass that when he was returned, having received the kingdom, then he commanded these servants to be called to him, to whom he had given the money, that he might know how much every man had gained by trading. Then came the first, saying, "Lord, your pound has gained 10 pounds." Now, see, that one went out and did for the Lord. As the Lord expected him to do, he went out and he doubled it. And said to him, "Well." And he said to him, "Well," meaning you've done well, "you good servant, because you have been faithful in a little, you have you authority over 10 cities." And the second came, saying, "Lord, your pound has gained 5 pounds." And he said likewise to him, "Be ye also over 5 cities." And another came, saying, "Lord, behold, here is your pound, which I have kept, laid up in a napkin. For I feared you, because you are an Austrian man," meaning exacting, harsh, and rigid. "You take up that you laid not down, and reap that you did not sow." And he says to him, "Out of your own mouth will I judge you, you wicked servant. You knew that I was an Austrian man, taking up that I laid not down, and reaping that I did not sow. Wherefore then gave not you my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own usury," which means interest. Well, what did the Lord give you to use for him? And what have you got back for him? Or your dividends? What have you got to show for what the Lord has given you? What dividends have you now? The Lord's coming. How many people have you brought to him? How many people have you shoved away from him? Think about it. Wherefore then gave not you my money into the bank, that at my coming I might have required my own with usury? And he said them that stood by, to them that stood by, "Take from him the pound, and give it to him that had 10 pounds. So the one that gains the more for the Lord, don't misunderstand this, the one that gains the more for the Lord is the one that's going to get. The one that has not gained for the Lord, who did not put what God gave them to usury, and who just hid their talent, the Lord is going to take what He gave them and give it to the others that's using theirs and getting Him back dividends. See you in the next part when I get it up.